Hey, what's going on, bro? Update 3 just dropped into pre-release, and honestly, there's so much to talk about. First up, the big, flashy thing everyone's been hyped about. An early taming system has been added, so some of the friendlier creatures you stumble on can be tamed if you've got their favorite food in hand. These tamed critters don't just stand there looking pretty. You can pet them with an empty hand, you can feed them occasionally, and for a handful of species, you can milk, shear, or even mount them. They won't bolt from you unless you hit them. And every so often, they'll do a little greeting animation, which is honestly adorable, and makes wandering the world feel warmer and less lonely. Next up, the game's farming and traversal loop got some actual love. Sickles are now a thing, which means harvesting several crops in one go instead of hacking at a single plant forever. If you're the sort of player who runs farms, this is a real time saver and it smooths out the early game grind. Climbing has been overhauled too. You can sidestep while climbing, drop down from ledges more naturally, and rotate around ropes so vertical movement feels fluid instead of twitchy. Combine that with random grass spreading and a few world gen tweaks, and traversing biomes just feels more organic than it did before. Map and navigation got a proper upgrade as well. You can now place custom map markers anywhere with names, icons, and colors you choose. And yes, you can share those markers in multiplayer. So planning expeditions with friends is less about shouting coordinates and more about actually coordinating. The compass also got smarter. It now shows different icons depending on vertical distance, which helps when you're navigating multi-level builds or trying to find a cavern entrance under a mountain. All of this makes exploration and teamwork much cleaner. A really important technical change that will affect servers and modders is the Anchor UI system. This lets plugins and asset packs insert custom UI elements into predefined client areas. Think world maps, status overlays, or small HUD widgets, which opens up a bunch of potential for server-side features and community creativity. If you run or play on modded servers, this is the kind of behind-the-scenes tool that will make custom content feel native rather than slapped on. Also, localization has begun in earnest with Brazilian, Portuguese, and Russian added as initial supported languages, and avatar presets now let you save and swap up to 5 different looks. Neat if you like switching styles depending on the playstyle or role you're playing. Combat and item systems saw a number of practical tweaks. Some weapon damage and consistency issues were addressed, guarding stamina costs were adjusted where they were misconfigured, and spears were fixed so they stack consistently and are throwable. Ranged aiming got tuned for better ballistics and more realistic hit behavior, and short bows and crossbows now pull ammo from backpacks rather than forcing awkward inventory juggling. The Necromancy Grimoire also got improvements so summoned minions behave more sensibly. They won't take damage from their summoner, they react when you're attacked, and the types of skeletal minions now include more variety, like ranged variants. These are the kinds of changes that don't always show up in a trailer, but they make playing combat feel less buggy and more reliable. There's also a new fire spread system and a goblin flamethrower weapon, currently creative only, which hints at how environmental hazards and flame mechanics might be expanded later on. On the quality of life front, a bunch of inventory improvements landed. Sort keybinds working in player inventories, faster processing bench take-all, shift dragging to quickly transfer items, and reworked utility wheel swapping. Crafting times for several early items were reduced, and some bench tier requirements were shuffled to make progression smoother. These small changes stack up, and suddenly the whole loop from gathering to crafting to using feels less fiddly. Visually and cosmetically, there's a decent chunk of new content. Hats, shirts, shoes with new color variants, skirts, new haircuts and facial hairstyles, and some metal color variants like black and red iron. Overpants are now labeled as legwear, which is a nice little clarity tweak, and cosmetic ordering and tooltips receive some polish to better support localization and readability. Audio got attention as well, with new sword swing sounds and the addition of HRTF headphone options for 3D audio, which helps immersion if you're rocking headphones. Under the hood, the update brings a laundry list of fixes: crash patches, world generation optimizations, security fixes for exploits, and improved reliability for world saves and backups. Mod loading got smarter with server version checks, mod enable and disable from saves, and warnings for missing mods, so servers are less likely to break because someone forgot to install something. Performance tweaks to world generation and streaming, along with a bunch of block and entity fixes, round out what is a very maintenance-heavy but important set of improvements. So yeah, it's a big patch that balances new toys and meaningful behind-the-hood work. The taming system and mounts give you new reasons to traverse and hang around the world. The farming and climbing updates make day-to-day play feel better. Modding and UI improvements open up long-term possibilities, and all the fixes and quality of life changes remove friction. If you jump into pre-release, expect to find some rough edges. That's the point of testing. But also expect a visibly more polished foundation for whatever the team builds next.